formerly a linear Immaculate until 2016. It is an advanced derivative of Linea Aeronautica's earlier G.222 C-27A Spartan in U.S. service, equipped with the engines and various other systems also used on the larger Lockheed Martin C-130J Super Hercules. In addition to the standard transport configuration, specialized variants of the C-27J have been developed for maritime patrol, search and rescue, C-3ISR command, control, communications, intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, fire support and electronic warfare and ground attack missions. In 2007, the C-27J was selected as the joint cargo aircraft JCA for the United States military. These were produced in an international teaming arrangement under which L3 Communications served as the prime contractor. In 2012, the United States Air Force U.S. Air Force elected to retire the C-27J after only a short service life due to budget cuts. They were later reassigned to the U.S. Coast Guard and United States Special Operations Command. The C-27J has also been ordered by the military air units of Australia, Italy, Greece, Bulgaria, Lithuania, Mexico, Morocco, Romania, Peru, and Slovakia. Thomas Pullison was an English politician and Lord Mayor of London. He was Sheriff of London in 1574 and then Lord Mayor for 1584. During the reign of Elizabeth I he was succeeded by Wollstonecraft Dixie. François Xavier Dulac, July 26, 1841, July 11, 1890, was a farmer, merchant and political figure in Quebec. He represented Beauce in the Legislative Assembly of Quebec from 1874 to 1878 as a Conservative. His name also appears as François Xavier Barnett Dulac. He was born in St. George de Beauce, Canada East, the son of Augustin Barnett Dulac and Marie Caron. In 1864, he married Flavie Villou. Dulac was mayor of Aubert-Gallienne, later St. George, from 1870 to 1872 and warden for Beauce County in 1870. He was first elected to the Legislative Assembly in an 1874 by-election held after Christian Paz resigned after it became illegal to hold seats in both the House of Commons and the Quebec Assembly. He was unsuccessful in bids for re-election in 1878 and 1886. Dulac also ran unsuccessfully as an independent candidate for a seat in the House of Commons in 1887. He died in St. George at the age of 48. serine/threonine protein kinase. NECT is an enzyme that in humans is encoded by the NECT gene. James Seabrook Everett, July 20, 1884, June 19, 1968, was an Australian rules footballer who played with West Perth in the West Australian Football League (WAFL). Everett was only 17 when he made his Western Australian Football Association's debut in 1901. He was a member of West Perth's 1905 Premiership team, won through a grand final replay, as a centre halfback. In the drawn grand final, Everett had played on a half-forward flank. The first Western Australian to represent his state in both cricket and football, he played his one and only first-class match for the Western Australian cricket team in the 1909-10th season. The fixture, which took place at the WACA, was played against Victoria. Everett was in the side as a right-arm fast-to-medium bowler but couldn't take a wicket, finishing with figures of 0 over 48 off 13 overs in the only innings Western Australia bowled. With the bat he was required twice, coming in at 8 in the batting order. He was dismissed by Arthur Kenny in both innings, for 13-0. He played his last league game in 1915, before enlisting with the Australian Army in October that year. Everett served with the 44th Battalion and fought on the Western Front. During action in 1918, Everett suffered gunshot wounds to his leg and shoulder. He was evacuated to England, where he recovered from his wounds and returned to Australia at the end of the year. Simonne Bittencourt de Oliveira, better known as Simonne, is a Brazilian singer and a major performer of Basilica popular Brasileira MPB who has recorded more than 31 albums. The 2013 ICC Africa Under-19 Championship Division 1 was a cricket tournament held in Uganda from 25 to 31 May 2013. Matches were played at grounds in Entebbe and Kampala, with Kampala's Lugogo Stadium hosting the final. Namibia won the tournament by defeating Kenya in the final, qualifying for the 2014 Under-19 World Cup in the United Arab Emirates. Two African Under-19 sides, South Africa and Zimbabwe, are ICC full members, and thus qualified directly for the World Cup. Ugandan all-rounder Lawrence Sembija was player of the tournament, while Namibians under pitchers and Kenyan Parabi Singh led the competition in runs and wickets. respectively. Namibia's J.J. Smith was named player of the final, having taken 4/17 including a hat-trick. The tournament was the fifth edition of the ICC Africa Under-19 Championships, and the second to be held in Uganda after the inaugural championship in 2001. 8 teams participated, divided into 2 pools for the group stages. The 5 best teams after the tournament's playoffs qualified directly for the 2015 Division I tournament, while the 3 lowest placed teams were relegated to the 2014 Division II tournament, with the winner of that tournament gaining promotion to Division I in 2015. Ernest Arakaki was the 6th Bishop of Carpentaria. He was born on June 1, 1909, educated at Trinity Grammar School, Sydney, and ordained in 1936. After curacies at St. Albans, Ultimo and St. Paul, Merwood, he was priest in charge at Candos. From 1947 to 1968 he was Secretary of the Australian Board of Missions, and from 1962 a canon residentiary at St. John's Cathedral, Brisbane. When he was ordained to the episcopate he died on July 25, 1986. Atsushi Nagai Hatsushi, born December 23, 1974, is a former Japanese football player. His elder brother Hideki is also a Japanese footballer. Louis Barnett, born November 2, 1991, from Kinnear, Staffordshire, is a licensed chocolatier who became the youngest supplier of both the Sainsbury's and Waitrose supermarket chains at the age of 14. He left school at the age of 11 because of learning difficulties and was later diagnosed with dyslexia and developmental coordination disorder. His parents continued his education through homeschooling. He started making chocolates for friends and family, and in 2005 he started his company Chocolate Limited to deal with the growing demand. Winner of Emerging Entrepreneur of the Year Award 2011. He received the Lord Carter Award for Excellence in the Food Industry, presented to him in the House of Lords 2009. Was nominated for a Young Entrepreneur of the Year award in 2007. He was also a finalist in the teen category of the 2007 Enterprising Young Brits Awards. Louis is now an active motivational speaker and business consultant. Mount Pauline is located on the border of Alberta and British Columbia. It is the 26th most prominent in Alberta. It was named in 1925 after F.A. Pauline. The three slopes are covered in mostly metamorphic shale or slate. Due to this, it is unknown how difficult it would be to climb to the peak. Abbey is one of three departments in what they are, the region of Chad. Its capital is Abbey. Colonist March 17, 1922, Budapest, August 2, 2002. Budapest was a Hungarian documentary film director and international news correspondent. She was one of the first women war correspondents amongst the first women film directors in Hungary. Colonist's films were known for their lyrical treatment of grand historical events as well as the lives of ordinary people. Colonist received numerous awards and nominations throughout her career, including international film festivals in Paris, Moscow, Oberhausen, Cortina d'Ampezzo, Berlin, Leipzig, Mexico City and Budapest. Colonist has been awarded the title Righteous Among the Nations and the Pro Virtue Award for Courage of the Republic of Hungary for saving the lives of many during the Second World War. Stolp Abbey, German, Klosterstall, founded 1153, dissolved 1534, was the first monastery in Pomerania. It was located on the southern bank of the Peene River between Gvildisco and Anglum near the village of Stolpen der Peene. Radibor I, Duke of Pomerania, founded the abbey on May 3, 1153 in memory of his brother Wartislaw I Wartislaw, who had subdued the area and converted its people to Christianity in the late 1120s, was killed near the site of the future monastery. According to legend, he was murdered by a Lyutician pagan. The abbey was settled by Benedictine monks from Berg Abbey near Magdeburg. The Pomeranian dukes and the counts of Gvildisco granted the new foundation extensive lands in the vicinity. In 1164, the meeting between the Duke of Saxony, Henry the Lion, and King Valdemar I of Denmark was held here. In 1304, the abbey became part of the Cistercian order, and was made a daughter house of Pforte Abbey. In 1305, Cartna Abbey, also known as Falcano Abbey, and in 1319 Padas Abbey, both in Estonia, were put under the authority of Stolp. In 1534, Stolp Abbey was dissolved in the course of the Protestant Reformation. The 30 Years' War made a battleground of Stahl and left the abbey buildings in ruins. The Basilica of the Immaculate Conception is a minor basilica located in Natchitoches, Louisiana, United States. It is also a parish church in the Diocese of Alexandria. The church building is the seventh structure to house the parish and was at one time the cathedral for the Roman Catholic Diocese of Natchitoches. As the Church of the Immaculate Conception, it was listed as contributing property in the Natchitoches Historic District on the National Register of Historic Places. Knowledge is a familiarity, awareness, or understanding of someone or something, such as facts, information, descriptions, or skills, which is acquired through experience or education by perceiving, discovering, or learning. Knowledge can refer to a theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. It can be implicit as with practical skill or expertise, or explicit as with the theoretical understanding of a subject. It can be more or less formal or systematic. In philosophy, the study of knowledge is called epistemology. The philosopher Plato famously defined knowledge as justified true belief, though this definition is now thought by some analytic philosophers to be problematic because of the Gettier problems, while others defend the Platonic definition. However, several definitions of knowledge and theories to explain it exist. Knowledge acquisition involves complex cognitive processes, perception, communication, and reasoning, while knowledge is also said to be related to the capacity of acknowledgement in human beings. Burris is a census-designated place (CDP) in Plague Means Parish, Louisiana, United States. Its population was 945 as of the 2010 census. Prior to the 2010 census, Burris was considered to be part of the Burris Triumph CDP. AG. The Clue is an Indian television detective crime drama series that aired on DD National from 1999 on every Monday at 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock p.m. IST. The series, starring Sudh Shbaria CID Inspector Barad in the main lead, was directed by Gautam Adhikari and produced by Shri Adhikari Brothers Limited. In the drama, Inspector Barad and his assistant Inspector Nitin Srivastava formed a formidable partnership in solving crimes, mostly murder mysteries. This series, unlike previous detective crime dramas in India, involved tackling of one case every episode, and seldom were the story or case of one episode continued to the next one. The title track of the series is a modified version of Smoke on the Water, the song by British rock band Deep Purple. After the drama ended, a new series called CID Officer with same crew and cast was aired on the same time. It was described by the media as unofficial extension of the Surrey AG. The series is dubbed in a Marathi as it showed and telecasted on Marathi Marathi channel of Sri Adhikari Brothers. Bonnie Boney Blackstone, born November 8, 1965, is a retired American professional wrestling announcer, commentator, model, television and radio producer. She was a popular on-air personality in regional territories of the southern United States during the 1980s. As part of the announcing team in the Global Wrestling Federation and briefly the World Wrestling Federation, as well as the longtime co-host of Superstars of Wrestling with husband Joe Pedicino and Gordon Foley from 1986 to 1992. She was one of the earliest, if not the first, female announcers in professional wrestling and has been praised by fellow women in the industry, such as Missy Hyatt, for portraying the more serious and intelligent personality in contrast to the typical wrestling valet. She retired from wrestling in 1995, and eventually followed her husband into the radio industry. They produced and co-hosted WTLK-TV 14 Infomercial Shoppers Showcase and, in 2000, began hosting Pro Wrestling This Week on Fox Sports Radio. Blackstone and Pedicino are also the owners of a successful publishing company, Food Facts, which puts out 6 specialty advertising guides a year. The company originally sent out fax listings to office workers listing lunch menus and daily specials from over 1,000 local restaurants in Cobb County. Georgia. It was the first of its kind to offer such service. Leighton Thomas Fries, January 17, 1940. June 8, 2003 was the first ever world professional darts champion and former world number 1 player. The discography of South Korean girl group I.O.I consists of 2 extended plays and 6 singles/single albums. Formed by CJE and M in 2016 through the survival show Produce 101, I.O.I debuted in May 2016 with the release of their first EP Chrysalis. Badra Persian, also romanized as Bedra, and Bedra is a city in the capital of Badra district, Ilam province, Iran. At the 2006 census, its population was 3,775, in 868 families. All of residents speak in Kurdish. Sofitex is a trademark for cross-linked dextrin gel used for gel filtration. It was launched by Pharmacia in 1959, after development work by Jerker Thorax and Perfloden. The name is derived from separation Pharmacia dextrin. It is normally manufactured in a bead form and most commonly used for gel filtration columns. By varying the degree of cross-linking, the fractionation properties of the gel can be altered. These highly specialized gel filtration and chromatographic media are composed of macroscopic beads synthetically derived from the polysaccharide, dextrin. The organic chains are cross-linked to give a three-dimensional network having functional ionic groups attached by ether linkages to glucose units of the polysaccharide chains. Available forms include anion and cation exchangers, as well as gel filtration resins, with varying degrees of porosity. Bead sizes fall in discrete ranges between 20 and 300 meters. Zurechny Urin is a settlement in the administrative district of Gmin Ostradale, within Ostradale County, Warmieton, Masurian Voivodeship, in northern Poland. Before 1945 the area was part of Germany, East Russia. After World War II the area was placed under Polish administration by the Potsdam Agreement under territorial changes demanded by the Soviet Union. Germans fled or were expelled and replaced with Poles expelled from the Polish areas annexed by the Soviet Union or forced to settle in the area through Operation Vistula in 1947. The Missouri Tigers athletics programs include the extramural and intramural sports teams of the University of Missouri, located in Columbia, Missouri, United States. The name comes from a band of armed guards called the Fighting Tigers of Columbia who, in 1864, protected Columbia from guerrillas during the Civil War. The University of Missouri, often referred to as MISOU or MU, is the flagship institution of the University of Missouri system. MISOU is a member of the Southeastern Conference (SEC) and is the only NCAA football bowl subdivision program in Missouri. Its wrestling program, the only one sponsored by an SEC member school, competes in the Mid-American Conference. Prior to joining the SEC in 2012, Missouri was a charter member of the Big 12 Conference, which was created with the merger of the former Big 8 Conference and for schools from the former Southwest Conference. One of these schools, Texas A&M, joined the SEC with Missouri in 2012 and which began athletic competition in the 1996-97 academic year. Missouri competed in the Missouri Valley Intercollegiate Athletic Association starting in 1907, which officially changed its name to the Big 8 Conference in 1964. The Soviet A7 VHF transceiver later models include the A7A and A7B was developed during World War II and used for communication in rifle brigades and regiments. The complete station was designed to be transported by an individual soldier. Specifications and notes. Frequency range, A7A, 27 to 32 MHz, A7B, 24 to 28 MHz. Modulation, FM, R/T radio telephone only, powered by 2.4 Vinica and 180 V dry battery fitted in carrying case. The A7B was produced locally in satellite countries in the 1950s and the beginnings of 1960s. Wetrin Dutch pronunciation. Trn is a municipality located in the Belgian province of East Flanders. The municipality comprises the towns of Simonne, Westerem and Wetrin proper. On January 1, 2006, Wetrin had a total population of 23,209. The total area is 36.68 km superscript 2, which gives a population density of 633 inhabitants per kilometer superscript 2. Brian Anthony Potvin, born May 31, 1963 in Ottawa, is a Canadian singer-songwriter and guitarist. The 2001 World Rowing Championships were held from 19 to August 26, 2001 at Rothsay in Lucerne, Switzerland. John Floyer, April 26, 1811, July 4, 1887, was an English cricketer with amateur status who was active from 1832 to 1833. He was later a Conservative Party politician who sat in the House of Commons in periods between 1846 and 1885. Floyer was born in Stansford, Dorset, the son of Rev. William Floyer and his wife Elizabeth Barton, Dolphin of Stephen Barton. He was educated at Winchester College and Balliol College, Oxford, where he appeared in first-class cricket for the university team in one match in 1832. He appeared in 1833 in one other match subsequently deemed to be first class. He appeared in two matches as an unknown handedness batsman whose bowling style is unknown, playing for Oxford University and for an A2K team organised by Marylebone Cricket Club MCC. He scored 1 run with a highest score of 1 and took no wickets. He was a deputy lieutenant and JP for Dorset, and was High Sheriff of Dorset in 1844. He was also Major of the Queen's Own Dorset Yeoman Cavalry. In 1846 Floyer was elected Member of Parliament for Dorset and held the seat until 1857. He was re-elected for Dorset in 1864 and held the seat until 1885. Floyer married in 1844 Georgina Charlotte Frances Banks, daughter of George Banks, MP for Corryarn Castle. He died in Westminster, advertising sequence in which a visitor receives ads from one advertiser throughout an entire site visit. Information recently introduced by the online unit of the New York Times. The surround session is creating a major buzz in the online advertising community. The session model represents a potentially significant shift in the way advertisers view online media, as more emphasis is placed on the real interaction between advertisers and audiences. In a surround session, an advertiser has all or most of the ads on each page for a visitor's entire site visit. As the visitor moves from page to page, the same advertiser is represented in various ad placements. This could allow for reinforcement of an advertiser's message, or possibly the creative use of a storyline across several pages. As currently proposed, an advertiser only pays for sessions that reach the predetermined amount of page views, and does not pay for any views in short sessions or the extra views in long sessions. The number of guaranteed page views per session is likely to vary, depending on what buyers are looking to purchase and what publishers are able to deliver. The move to a session-based model might even give new life to beleaguered metrics such as the click-through. Many marketers equate a 1% click-through rate with only 1 in 100 visitors clicking on an advertisement. At best, this assumption is slightly imprecise. At worst, it is grossly inaccurate. For example, assume that a particularly sticky site averages 11 page views per visitor and a 3% click-through rate. This means that up to 33% of the audience could have responded to the advertisement, assuming no duplicate clicks. Perhaps most significantly, the surround session is one of the first advertising ideas in recent times that does not further degrade the user experience. This new method of packaging ads does not require longer download times, more screen space, or annoying browser tricks. Brinkluder classification is the library classification system of Bartel Brinkluder described in his article The Geographical Approach to Materials in the Library of Congress. Subject headings. The geographical aspect of a subject may be conveyed through three types of headings labeled A, B, and C. Heading B uses a primary topical description with geographical subdivisions, e.g. Art Paris. Type B uses a place name for the main heading with a topical subdivision, e.g. Paris description. C headings use a geographical description of a phrase, e.g. Paris literature. Brinkluder explores what type of heading is more useful to a patron, and he finds that it depends on the level of familiarity a patron has with a topic and what approach they take when searching for resources on their topic. Ideally, readers will either be looking for everything on a particular topic, or everything regarding a particular place. Bittencourt investigates a system of classification that will best serve these two ideal types of patrons. He finds working with type A headings will best assist a patron who is more topic-oriented, while using type B headings is preferable for those who are primarily interested in one place. However, this is problematic in practice. One possibility is to assign type A and type B headings to every resource, but the cataloging cost would be high. The system that aids readers regardless of their approach to a topic involves using cross-references, e.g. Canada Botany, see Botany Canada. Admitting that C and C also references would require more work on the part of librarians. Bittencourt notes that librarians must keep in mind readers do not have the same knowledge of classification and do need all the help they can get. misheardpedia.com is a free online e-cards service created by Brooke Lundy and Duncan Mitchell. The content of misheards consists of parodies of the sentiments found in the traditional Hallmark greeting card. Sometimes features content that could be considered offensive if taken seriously. Misheard's deadpan humor has drawn widespread approval from those for whom traditional greeting and cards do not appeal, especially younger urban audiences. The cards are divided into many categories, including events for which one might send a real greeting card, such as birthdays, weddings, and holidays. The categories also contain cards for unusual occasions, such as after a breakup, to flirt, and as a cry for help. Compete.com reported that misheards.com received over 570,000 visitors in October 2011. Thorstein Streak on December 3, 1900, September 21, 1965 was a Norwegian cyclist. He competed in two events at the 1920 Summer Olympics. Bob and Mike Bryan successfully defended their title, defeating Raven Clausen and Leander Paes in the final, 6-3, 3-6, 10-6. Two Hands, One Mouth, Live in Europe is an album by American rock/pop group Sparks, released in March 2013. It is their first ever live album, and first double CD album. In October 2012, Ron and Russell Mael performed for the first time ever as a duo, with no band. The 18-city European tour titled Two Hands, One Mouth began in Lithuania and followed in Latvia, Finland, Norway, Sweden, Germany, Belgium, the UK and Ireland. The final UK concert of the tour was at the sold-out Barbican Centre in London. The tour then took the group to Japan with concerts in Tokyo and Osaka in January 2013. In April 2013, the show was presented for the first time in the US with two performances at the Coachella Festival. A short US tour followed. Two Hands, One Mouth, Live in Europe was released in March 2013. It contains concert recordings gathered from various cities during the October 2012 European tour. Which concert each track came from is only known for one, the final track, thanks to Russell Mael saying "Thank you all our friends in Manchester" after the song finishes. It's also very likely that the recording of Hospitality on Parade is from Finland, because Russell introduces the band in Finnish. Moi Stava, Minä olen Russell, Han on Ron, Me Golem Sparks. The 2002 Asian Men's Handball Championship was the 10th Asian Championship. It took place from February 10 to February 19, 2002 in Isfahan, Iran. The championship was held in Isfahan's Piruzi Arena. It acts as the Asian qualifying tournament for the 2003 World Men's Handball Championship. Jeltovorsky Makariot Convent, formerly Monastery of the Holy Trinity, Russian. Prime 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 or Prime 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 is one of the convents of Russian Orthodox Church. It is located in the vicinity of the urban-type settlement of Makaryevo in Lyskovsky district of Nizhny Novgorod Oblast. Christos Spiro, born 1976, 11/14/14, November 1976, in Athens, is a Greek male weightlifter, competing in the 85 kilograms category and representing Greece at international competitions. He participated at the 1996 Summer Olympics in the 70 kilograms event and at the 2000 Summer Olympics in the 85 kilograms event. He competed at World Championships, most recently at the 1999 World Weightlifting Championships. His father Panagiotis Spiro was also a weightlifter and competed at the 1970 Summer Olympics 75 kilograms event. The saya is a music and dance that originated in the Yungas region of Bolivia by its Afro-descent population. The art form's name comes from the Kikongo term ensaya, which means communal work led by a singing voice, akin to a work song. The saya's instrumentation and dance also reflects the influence of traditional Andean music. Enslaved Africans were taken to South America to work in a range of industries. Their customs, music, was merged with the native cultures gave rise to mixtures. The specific history of many of these practices has disappeared, but many authors have worked to identify cultural survivals in Afro-descended groups throughout South America. Many dances have been derived from the saya. Caporales was based on these dances, created and presented to the public for the first time in 1969 by the Estrada brothers, who were inspired in the Afro-Bolivian saya character of the caporal. This character was, in turn, inspired by the performance on the haciendas of the Yungas. In the present day, Afro-Bolivians have used the saya in their struggle to reclaim their rights within Bolivian society. In this movement, the saya has functioned both as a way of expressing and solidifying Afro-Bolivian identity among Black Bolivians, and as a way to express their identity in the context of national social movements based on ethnic identities. Many festivals where the dance is performed a prominent religious aspect. One supposedly dances for the Virgin Mary and promises to dance for 3 years of one's life. Kaya Persian, also romanized as Kaya and Kiyashar, also known as Bandari Kaya and Bandari Kiyashar. Formerly, Bandari Theranas is a city in the capital of Kayashar district, Benestane Ashrafiya County, Jilin Province, Iran. At the 2006 census, its population was 13,762, in 4,069 families. Qashqai Port is a beautiful green city in the north of Iran. The Sifidrug River is the biggest river in northern Iran, which flows into the Caspian Sea through Qashqai Beach. There is the Bohad Lagoon in Qashqai. It is the environment of many migratory birds. Fishery and agriculture are the main occupations in Qashqai. The rice of Qashqai is some of the best in Iran. There is a wooden bridge that connects the city to the beach through the Bohad Lagoon. In Qashqai there is a bazaar, Chahar Shonbay Bazaar, on Wednesdays, and people of all occupations sell their products. The fishery in Qashqai is very old, and was used by Russia in 1885 when they came to Iran to fish for caviar. Marane Persian may refer to Marane, Kurdistan Marane, Murabad, West Azerbaijan Province Marane, Sardasht, West Azerbaijan Province. Margaret Croft Peggy Scriven Vivian Nate Scriven, August 17, 1912. January 25, 2001 was a British tennis player and the first woman from that country to win the singles title at the French Championships in 1933. She also won the singles title at the 1934 French Championships, defeating Helen Jacobs in the final. Scriven Vivian was the last British woman to win the same Grand Slam singles tournament for 2 consecutive years. In addition, she was the first left-handed woman to win the Grand Slam singles title and up until 2017, the only unseeded woman ever to win the French Championships or French Open. According to A. Wallace Myers of the Daily Telegraph and the Daily Mail, Scriven Vivian was ranked in the world top 10 from 1933 through 1935, reaching a career high of world number 5 in those rankings in 1933 and 1934. Water Dog Lake is an alpine lake in Custer County, Idaho, United States, located in the White Cloud Mountains in the Sawtooth National Recreation Area. The lake is accessed from Sawtooth National Forest Trail 683. Water Dog Lake is northeast of Merriam Peak and located in the lower section of the Boulder Chain Lakes Basin. Thomas Albert Wofford, September 27, 1908, February 25, 1978, was a United States Senator from South Carolina. Born in Manton Station, Lawrence County, South Carolina, he attended the public schools and graduated from the University of South Carolina at Columbia in 1928, and from Harvard University Law School in 1931. He was admitted to the bar in the latter year and commenced the practice of law in Greenville. He was Assistant Solicitor of the 13th Judicial Circuit from 1935 to 1936, and was Assistant United States District Attorney from 1937 to 1944. In 1947, Wofford was one of the defense attorneys in the Greenville lynching trial. He was a member of the Board of Trustees of Winthrop College from 1944 to 1956. Wofford also was a delegate to the 1948 Democratic National Convention from South Carolina. Wofford was appointed on April 5, 1956 as a Democrat to the U.S. Senate to fill the vacancy caused by the resignation of Strom Thurmond, and served from April 5, 1956 to November 6, 1956. He was not a candidate for election to fill the vacancy, and engaged in the practice of law. He was a member of the South Carolina Senate from 1966 to 1972, and changed party affiliation to Republican. He resided in Greenville, and died there in 1978. Interment was in Woodlawn Memorial Park. Radio Cardenas na Co. Nal may refer to RCN Radio, RCN TV. Radha is a 2017 Indian Telugu language romantic drama film written and directed by Chandra Mohan, making his debut. The film, which tells the story of Lord Krishna in modern times, is produced by Bhagavali Bapinithu under Sri Venkateswara Sinachikram. The film features Shahrukh Anand and Lavanya Tripathi in lead roles, along with Akshay Pardesani in an extended cameo role. The score and soundtrack is composed by Radhan and cinematography is by Karthik Gautam. The film released on May 12, 2017. The Williams FW20 was the car with which the Williams Formula One team competed in the 1998 Formula One season. It was driven by Jacques Villeneuve, the reigning champion, and Heinz-Harald Frentzen, who was in his second year with the team. The team was adversely affected by the departure of chief designer Adrian Newey to McLaren, and Renault's withdrawal from F1 as an engine supplier. Newey and Renault had made Williams the dominant team of the early and mid-1990s. Newey had departed at the end of 1996, but his input had gone into the FW19 for 1997. So the FW20 was the first Williams car since 1990 that did not directly bear his design. The car was equipped with a Mecha chrome-badged version of what was essentially the previous year's engine. Also gone was the highly distinctive blue and white Rothmans livery, as the company had decided to promote its Winfield brand. 1998 was very disappointing compared to the previous championship-winning campaign. The team finished a distant third in the Constructors' Championship, with 3 podiums and no wins, a long way behind McLaren and Ferrari. Villeneuve was unhappy with the season and had no chance to defend his title. He signed with the new British-American racing team for 1999, and Frentzen departed to Jordan after 2 seasons spent largely in the shadow of his teammate. The kilobit is a multiple of the unit bit for digital information or computer storage. The prefix kilo, symbol K, is defined in the International System of Units SI as a multiplier of 103,1000 and therefore, 1 kilobit equals 103 bits equals 1000 bits. The kilobit has the unit symbol bit or kilobytes using the common byte size of 8 bits. 1 bit is equal to 125 bytes. The kilobit is commonly used in the expression of data rates of digital communication circuits as kilobits per second bit/s or kilobytes/s or abbreviated as kbps, as in, for example, a 56 kbps PSTN circuit, or a 512 bit/s broadband internet connection. The unit symbol kilobytes lowercase b is typographically similar to the international standard unit symbol for the kilobyte, i.e. kilobytes uppercase b. The International Electrotechnical Commission (IEC) recommends the symbol bit instead of b. The prefix kilo is often used in fields of computer science and information technology with a meaning of multiplication by 1024 instead of 1000, contrary to international standards, in conjunction with the base unit byte and bit, in which case it is to be written as key, with a capital letter K, e.g., 1 kbit equals 1024 bits. The decimal SI definition, 1 bit/s equals 1000 bit/s, is used uniformly in the context of telecommunication transmission speeds. The kilobit is closely related to a much less used kilobit, the unit multiple derived from the binary prefix kibi, symbol key of the same order of magnitude, which is equal to 210 bits equals 1024 bits, or approximately 2% larger than the kilobit. Despite the definitions of these new prefixes, meant for binary-based quantities of storage by international standards organizations, memory semiconductor chips are still marketed using the metric prefix names to designate binary multiples. Ethan O'Reilly, born December 27, 1985, is a South African cricketer. He is a right-handed batsman and a right-arm fast bowler who plays for Gauteng. He was born in Port Elizabeth. O'Reilly made his first-class debut for the team in 2008, in a game against Eastern Province. Batting from the tail end, O'Reilly scored a commendable 42 not out in his debut innings, partnering Dane Belos to a 9-wicket stand of 108 runs. He was included in the Eastern Province cricket team squad for the 2015 Africa T20 Cup. Jerome Cunningham, born May 25, 1991, is an American football tight end for the Tennessee Titans of the National Football League (NFL). He played college football at Southern Connecticut State. Andreas Beck was the defending champion, but lost in the second round. Nicholas Mahut won the title, defeating Yuichi Sugita in the final, 3-6, 7-6, 7-3, 6-4. Simonne ballot Persian, also romanized as Simonne ballot and Simonne ballot, also known as Simonne and Simonne, is a village in Rodder Rural District, in the Central District of Rudan County, Hormozgan Province, Iran. At the 2006 census, its population was 74, in 17 families. Caymal vacant Spanish pronunciation. Tiamoagan Nahuatl for place of those who have shields is a city and municipality located in the eastern part of state of Mexico, Mexico. It lies just outside the northeast border of the Federal District of Federal and is part of the Greater Mexico City urban area. The Girl in the Night is a 1931 British crime film directed by Henry Edwards and starring Edward, Dorothy Boyd and Sam Liversey. It was made at Elstree Studios. One Fish, Two Fish, Blowfish. Bluefish is the 11th episode of The Simpsons' second season. It originally aired on Fox Network in the United States on January 24, 1991. In the episode, Homer consumes the poisonous fugu fish at a sushi restaurant, and is told that he has only 22 hours left to live. He accepts his fate and makes a list of all the things he wants to do before he dies. The episode was written by Mel Scoville and directed by Wes Archer. It features guest appearances from Larry King, George Takei, S.A.B. Shimano, Jody Miyashima, and Diane Tanaka. The episode was selected for release in a video collection of selected episodes, titled The Last Temptation of Homer, that was released November 9, 1998. The episode features cultural references to songs such as Theme from Shaft Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves and When the Saints Go Marching In. Since airing, the episode has received mostly positive reviews from television critics. It acquired a Nielsen rating of 14.1, and was the highest rated show on Fox Network the week it aired. The electoral district of Gippsland was one of the original 16 electoral districts of the old unicameral Victorian Legislative Council of 1851 to 1856. Victoria being a colony in Australia at the time. The area of Gippsland was defined as bounded on the south and east by the sea, on the north by a line running in a westerly direction from Cape Howe to the source of the nearest tributary of the Murray and the Australian Alps, again on the west by the Alps and the counties of Evelyn and Mornington. From 1856 onwards, the Victorian Parliament consisted of two houses. The Victorian Legislative Council Upper House, consisting of provinces, and the Victorian Legislative Assembly Lower House. Belong is a village in New South Wales, Australia, in Hilltops Council. At the 2016 census, the Geelong State Suburb and Australian Bureau of Statistics statistical area that includes the village had a population of 224. It is a typical Australian village located 1 hour's drive from the Australian Capital Territory Act. The town is well known for its cemetery, which has among other monuments, some angels erected by Frank Rusconi, the monumental mason from Gundagai. The major industry in the town is the limestone open-cut mine. The Geelong deposit was first mined in 1885 with significant mining activity in the 1920s, producing burnt lime or quicklime, which is used in the production of cement. The mine reopened in the 1960s and again in 1994. In 2001, the lease was altered to extend the mineable area of land from 16 to 160 hectares, 40 to 395 acres. Resources of 20 million tons of limestone have been defined within the proposed limit of mining. In 2003, the mine was acquired by Boral. It now produces lime for agricultural lime used for farming canola and grains. Agricultural lime is used for remediating soil acidity, a major problem threatening the productivity and sustainability of agriculture in many parts of the state. It produces approximately 300,000 tons per year, about 1/4 of the requirements for the state of New South Wales. Apart from agricultural purposes, a major consumer of lime from Geelong is the Port Kembla Steel Works. A kiln was built at the mine in 2003/04 to allow the production of quicklime for use in cement. The mine employs about 19 people. Lund University Swedish. Lunds Universitet is one of Europe's oldest, largest and most prestigious universities, consistently ranking among the world's top 100 universities. The university, located in the city of Lund in the province of Skåne, Sweden, traces its roots back to 1425, when a Franciscan Studium General was founded in Lund next to the Lund Cathedral, making it the oldest institution of higher education in Scandinavia. After Sweden won Skåne from Denmark in the 1658 Treaty of Roskilde, the university was founded in 1666 on the location of the old Studium General next to Lund Cathedral. Lund University has 8 faculties, with additional campuses in the cities of Malmö and Helsingborg, with 42,000 students in 302 different programs and 2,046 freestanding courses. The university is some 600 partner universities in over 70 countries, and it belongs to the League of European Research Universities as well as the Global Universities 21 network. 2 major facilities for materials research are in Lund University: Max IV, which is a world-leading synchrotron radiation laboratory, inaugurated in June 2016, and European Spallation Source S, a new European facility that will provide up to 100 times brighter neutron beams than existing facilities today, to be opened in 2023. The university centers on the Lundegård Park adjacent to the Lund Cathedral, with various departments spread in different locations in town, but mostly concentrated in a belt stretching north from the park connecting to the university hospital area and continuing out to the northeastern periphery of the town, where one finds the large campus of the Faculty of Engineering,